Do you ever
Yeah,
find
100%.
yourself measuring against your peers and feeling pulled to like do something else? Or, like, how do you stay straight and narrow on that you're creating something amazing and you want to keep doing that?
There's only been one time where I'm like, shit, should I hang it up? Like,
Yeah.
is it time to like abandon this project? But I don't know what it is. But there's push through. You look at tomorrow. You kind of just take it day by day, and next thing you know, you're like, "What the hell was I thinking about giving it up for?" Because this is so amazing what we're doing now.
Right.
But it's only been in like those in the valleys where I've been like, "Shit!" Like where I start to like think about like, what if I was just working? What if I worked at a tech company still, or what if I still worked at LinkedIn? Because like, man, that was a great job.
Right.
It was like really, really killer job. Or like, what if I just worked for somebody else and like they had to deal with all this shit and I just got to take a paycheck and like not have to worry about anything when I go home, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like there are times where I'm like a little jealous that people don't have to deal with the bullshit. But then at the same time, I quickly switch out of that groove and I'm like, nah, I want to be the fucking dude that figures this stuff out, that helps this employee do that or helps this or I like I don't know why, but I want to be that person that experiences all of those things. Because ultimately, from a selfish standpoint, this is a journey where I get to gain so many different types of experiences when
Yeah.
it comes to dealing with partnerships, with the employees, with business partners, with landlord. Like, I mean, what other thing can you do other than run a business, like start a business, run a business, where you can get all of those experiences wrapped up into one project? Like,
Yeah.
you can be a salesperson and just experience sales, and that's great. You get a lot of experience doing that, and you'll be really good at it. But if you're trying to try to be a well-rounded human being and business person, I think starting your own thing and dealing with all the bullshit is like just the best.
Well, that's where
It's
some of
like I
the
love it.
that's the magnificence, right? I mean, I keep using Bump as an example because I think you guys have done something really well here. Like if you walk into the shop, you're hit with a couple different things. There's a little bit of like where you are, right? You're in North County, you have that the surf vibe is very present.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you also have this very cool, like it's an American vibe and a roll your sleeves up, kind of
hmm
like we're going to do this by our bootstraps feel. Then the product is
hmm
amazing, right? So it's like good empanadas and the coffee is good. It's made to order.
hmm hmm
You've eliminated somehow this like quickness that I feel like a lot of businesses struggle to upkeep because pour over
hmm
is not fast. It's
right,
not, right? And if there's a line, you're going to
yeah,
wait. But because
yeah,
it is that way, you just kind of accept it and then
yeah,
in waiting, that's when you see your friend. That's where you see someone walking their dog across the street. And that again goes back to that thing I was talking about punctuating someone's day, that like now there's this experience and you're
hmm
starting to build around that with the shorts and the media and then the clothing and the apparel. It's all like everything makes sense, but none of that
yeah,
would be realized if you're just running down the hall screaming, you know?
yeah, yeah. I think from like the way that we look at it internally is like we want it to feel like it's your like a bar, not a place where it's we try to make the transaction part like really simple. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is what you're gonna get. Okay, that's how much it costs. Like that part, we try to eliminate as much friction right there, so we can get to the fun part, which is the conversation,
Yep.
the getting your food, watching us make the coffee, that kind of stuff. Where to me, at a lot of other coffee shops, it's like I've gone to order stuff or any restaurant, and it's like kind of a pain in the neck to order, and you like maybe don't know what you're gonna get, kind of deal.
Yep.
And then you don't get any conversation with the barista or whoever's making the pour over coffees or whatever. So our big thing is like, hey, we want conversations to happen. We want everybody to, it's always like, hey, how's your day going? What's going on? Like, oh, you're going on vacation. Oh, you're here on vacation. Like, we try to. I guess one of my biggest influences in the hospitality industry is this guy Danny Meyer. He started Shake Shack, Gramercy Tavern in New York, and I've watched a ton of YouTube videos on him, and he's always talking about collecting dots so that you can connect them later. And like what that
Mm.
really means is that when you're having conversations with your customers, I try to invoke this like mentality of like it's always a discovery call, right? So like
Yeah.
in sales, your first call with a potential client is like learning about either their business or what their personal wants or needs are, trying to understand exactly where their mind's at, and then kind of gauge like the temperature of how you should take this conversation or where you should go next. And so it's always about like asking people what's up, how's their day going, what are they doing later today, where they're going next week, what their kids' names are. Like the amount of kids' names that I know that come to the shop is it's crazy. Like,
That's good.
you know, and yeah, but like, you start to learn so much about people that like what the next time somebody comes in and there's a similarity or there's like a common ground between two people and you kind of like facilitate that connection between two customers that
Yes.
don't know each other and then they connect and the next thing you know they're always chatting with each other at the coffee shop and like and then another friend comes in and like and it's just now you're starting to build a community rather than just just kind of sitting there serving coffee. You're